Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today we're talking about what everybody gets wrong about EAT. Now, EAT is an acronym that stands for expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. This is a phrase that is mentioned over and over in the Google Search Quality Rater guidelines. Now, the quality search raters, they are human individuals, contractors that Google employs to rate certain search results. Now, what their main purpose is basically to help train up the artificial intelligence, Google's rank brain, part of their algorithm. It's training up the AI. What they do is they give feedback on the results that they're seeing using a set of criteria, and they're supposed to judge. Now, one of the phrases, like I said, in these publicly available guidelines, which were just updated yesterday, is EAT, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. Now, in the SEO community, a lot of people have twisted this up, and they've really misinterpreted what this actually means. Now, the EAT really matters on sites what they call your money or your life, YMYL. And these would be sites that give information or advice that has a direct impact on your well-being, like health, finance, those sorts of things. And this is where EAT is most critical. Now, on other sites, it's not as critical, but that has not stopped the SEO community and many people from selling things like EAT audits, from giving advice on EAT, like put a bunch of logos on your site, put author bio boxes on your site, and your EAT signal will improve. Now, this is the part where everybody is getting this wrong about EAT. EAT is not about an individual author. EAT is about the track record of the site, giving factual information and having people satisfied with the results that they're getting. Okay, EAT is not about one person or an author. And if you remember the video that we did a while ago, where this was a question in another SEO forum, it was a site selling like dental equipment, orthodontics equipment, and these sorts of things. And they hired a dentist to write content for this site because they figured this guy is an expert. He has EAT. This will help raise up our entire site if we get content from this one guy. The problem is, they were an e-commerce site up until this point, and they did not have a track record for authoritative content. This is why the one author does not bring up the site. The site brings up the author. And I see this question, I see this misrepresented every single week in SEO forums, in Facebook groups, in Slack channels, all around. People making podcasts about it, people selling audits about it, and it's all completely wrong. So if you are a non-your money or your life site, the EAT is basically going to start at a default of medium. And this is one of the changes that Google made in this document. So in a lot of places, they changed any references to EAT to page quality, because I have a feeling that the page raters were looking for authority where it was not necessary, and not evaluating the actual quality of the main content of the page. Now, keep that in mind: main content, quality, skill, talent. These are things that are in there, and I will link to the original document. I will link to some of the articles that came out about this, so you can reference it and look at it yourself. But for a non-your money or your life site, non-health, non-finance type of site, what these quality raters are supposed to be looking at, and what you should be doing as a site owner, is looking at the actual content quality of that particular page and of your site as a whole. And what the actual Google document says is you can evaluate the talent and skill of the main content of that page on its own. Now, if you are a finance or a health site, then your money or your life comes into play. And what it's going to be looking at, what Google is going to be looking at, is the track record of your site for factual information. So, like in that video before, this guy that was trying to rank for content for dental equipment. This is why you're getting outranked by brands like Crest or Oral-B or WebMD or any of these other ones that have a long history of providing factual, trustable information. And in the actual Google document, the Quality Search Rater Guidelines, the example that Google changed when they talk about the actual EAT is they used a Your Money or Your Life site, Visa. They used Visa, the credit card company, as an example of saying they have high EAT, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness, because they've been around and they have a track record. Now, this is a continuation of the same principle that they talked about in 2008 when they said that brands are there to sort out the cesspool when they have, 2 million posts being written every hour that are appearing on the internet. It's really hard to assess the EAT of every single one. So what they're going to do is they're looking at, long-term brands, long-standing brands that have already earned that trust. Those ones are going to be trusted above just some, knick-knack website that appeared last month. So if you're not a brand, the EAT you can pretty much assume is going to default to medium. So unless your site has already established a long-term track record, then that is something that you need to start doing like right away. And I will give another example of this as well, of why it is not one author or one expert or one freelancer that you need to worry about their EAT. It's your site as a whole. The site brings up the author doesn't bring up the site. This is why people rent experts or they worry about their freelancer writer. But the truth of the matter is, I want you to look at a site like Neil Patel's site. And then Neil Patel is a pretty famous dude in SEO, in marketing. But most of his stuff is ghostwritten, and this is pretty much a publicly open secret. Everybody knows it. Google knows it as well. But his site, because so many people link to it and so many people find what they're looking for, they appear to be happy with it, or they get user engagement signals that people are happy with the main content of those pages, they continue to rank. Now, it's not actually Neil Patel writing most of this stuff, but it's his ghostwriting team. Doesn't matter. The EAT doesn't matter. It's his site. The site is a track record. And I want you to keep this in mind. The authority part of this whole thing, authority, EAT, the authority is links. If nobody's linking to a particular site or a particular page, then it probably doesn't have a lot of authority. It's really that simple. It's not about putting up a bunch of logos. It's not about linking to all the different places where you left where you commented, or you wrote an article, or you were on a podcast, or you made a video. It's about those sites linking to you. It's about the track record of your site, and then all these other sites talking about you for a long period of time. Google does not have a list of names where they have experts on one side and then non-experts on the other. A lot of people imagine it to be like this, where I'm an expert, because I say I'm an expert and I've been around. The fact of the matter is if there's not easily traceable proof of that, meaning if you haven't been talking about the same things on your website for a long time, if people have not been linking to your site for a long time, then that is not proof. Google does not have a list of these people are factual experts because they say they are. It's not a list of experts on one side, non-experts on the other. It's basically they're defaulting to the position of if this site has got links and it has a long track record of providing factual, helpful information, and we're getting the user engagement signals from those pages that people are happy with what they're finding, then we're going to say that the expertise of that page is high. The authority is the links. The trustworthiness is all the other signals out there as far as reviews, reputation, and how your site is set up, but it's not just throwing up some logos. It's not just putting an author bio box on there. Google is not scanning for a certain author's name to give your site a lot of authority. It's not about just getting certain names on your site. Your site is the point of authority that you need to be working on. I hope that all makes sense. I'm going to link up these documents below, and I encourage you to go check it out. These are the things that I believe that a lot of people are getting wrong about EAT. They're looking at the wrong signals, they're looking for the wrong things, and they're selling philosophies of things that, frankly, Google is not as sophisticated as you think it is, as far as determining, like, here's a list of all the people on Earth, and these people are experts, these people aren't, and these people are somewhere in between. It's not that sophisticated. It doesn't have, like, everybody on Earth figured out like you think they do. It really comes down a lot of the time to links and track record. So I hope that makes sense. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here publishing videos every single day. I encourage you to check it out, subscribe, and all those things. Until next time, peace.